This is a simple amateur video on how to add a post to the Arden Fair blog. First of all, you need to log in. I'll log in as Joe Test. So just put his username in, JTEST, and then the password. So with that in there, I then log in. Now, as you see, we've got Joe Test's name there, so we'll have your name when you log in. So then we can access the blogs, which aren't otherwise shown if you go back and before you log in, you won't see this up here. So you can either go in via this way or via the main menu. So go to the main menu, hit blog. And then this will come up, this toolbar. And in order to start off the blog, to insert a post, you simply hit new blog post. This one with a pencil and the square. Now here we'll start off with it's uncategorized at the moment, so we need to put a category in there. Now if it's going to be about a particular issue, let's look at, say, for instance, international food. If on the other hand you're going to use as a team blog, it's probably better to put it under the category of team blogs, because if you don't put it under the heading of team blogs, what will happen is people will go through and it'll come up under one of the categories when people go to the categories, and they won't be able to, they'll click on it and won't allow them access because they aren't members of that team. So if it's going to be a team blog, just put it as category as team blog, just to help with the organisation. But in this case, we'll put it as international food. So this blog is going to be, this post is going to be available for the whole site where people are registered. We put in the title. In this case, we'll put in, it's going to be calling it the Russian food store. Now we're going to, it's good form at least to include a date in there at the beginning so it's easier to follow. So we'll call this one the 10 March 2003, and then we'll put in Russian food store proposal. Now, just with the formatting for in these forms such as this, it'll come up as in capitals, but still put it in with upper and lower case, and that should come out in that form when you put it in the when it's actually published. Now we want it only viewable by people who have logged in, so we'll leave it as viewable by registered members only. If you don't have that, it will be viewable by all users, which means if someone managed to say come across this by doing a Google search or something like that, is that they, if it would allow, even though it's behind you have to log in, but unless we had this, they could still possibly view it if they accidentally came across it somehow. So in this case, we'll leave it as viewable for registered members only. Now we come down to the editor. So, and we'll just put some words in to begin with. So we'll put heading Russian food store You don't have to put in a heading because that heading up there will appear on the top of the post. But just for the start this one off. So If we hit that, that'll wipe it out completely. If we didn't want to, we put something we just didn't like what we did. We mucked it up somewhere. We can just reverse it. Again, we can just put like normal word processor like Word. So bold, italics, underscore, cross through. Justify, they call it a line, full right across the page. In the middle, line left and line right. If we wanted to have this so it is in a particular format as a heading, and these are fairly big headings, so I'd go say heading 4, and so that will now appear as format for heading 4, and leave the styles there. If you want to find and replace, or find, sorry, your particular item, if it's a long post, you can find that. Find and replace is if you want to edit because you've had something you don't like and you want to remove all instances of it and replace with something else, you can use that. Indent, and that goes the other way out, dent, listing, clean up HTML, which gets rid of some of the formatting that's behind it. As if you want to insert a custom character, so those sort of signs, symbols, all arranged there if you want to put those in. And if you want to put a horizontal line right across the page. If you want to have underscore, and that's the superscript, tables, so you can insert a whole table all through here. You can do all the different table functions. So if you want to have a table, under print, put inverted commas, abbreviations, anchor. Now with anchor is, say for instance, a lot of times if it's a really long article, what we do is say put in here at the top, put an anchor, and call it top of page. Just keep it till as one word. Sometimes it doesn't like the links if it's separated. So put insert, and then we just say we're down here. We write the words. Just turn to top. What we do is we put that there, highlight that, click on link, and because we're using it as anchors, we go to running at one anchor, top of page, and we go insert, and so now it says there if it's when it's published, someone clicks on that, it'll take them back up to the top. And you can also do it the other way around if you put an anchor somewhere else. So especially if you want to have say a contents page. Now link, again, if we said a lot of times we'll write click here. Do there is highlight that, and we can either find our way through to another part of the website, which we can find on the menu. So there's all the different menu items, and if we were content goes to individual articles elsewhere in the site. So it goes to an individual article. And usually when you're having a link, it's usually a good idea to put it as open in a new window, so that if someone wanted to stay on this particular page, they'll open on a new tab, so if they can have a look there, if they can then move on. Otherwise they'll lose this current page. So put in an open window. Now, if for instance you wanted to link to another website, you would simply double click on that other website and put that in there. So in this case we've got the URL for Russian cuisine, which we've copied and paste. Make sure it's got the whole of the URL including HTTP. So you can't just put www Russian, you've got to actually include the HTTP. Set open your window, so we'll insert that. So when someone now goes click here, in the actual post, it'll take them to open up that new that website for Russian cuisine there. Further along here, you've got insert read more. Now that's for say long posts, which you don't want to have occupying the whole of the screen. So what you do is that after a few paragraphs, which are say introductory to catch someone's attention, you would then insert that, insert more, insert read more, and that would basically then hide the rest of what's underneath that. It's built in, so when it's actually showing as a published post, it'll come through as it will come through saying read more. So the readers would simply click on read more, and then they can see the rest of it. Just makes it the actual each post a little bit shorter, so you can put that in yourself. Right, the rest of it is cut and copy. Now this one's important because you can save you a lot of time. Is that the paste is what you can do is you can take a Word document and then you can put it, you say you'd and take out the images, and you would then copy that. Then you'd paste it here using this where it's got paste as plain text. That has the effect of getting all rid of the underlying HTML that's on that comes from Word, because what happens is that can really cause some problems on a website with all the configuration for Word. So that gets rid of all that, and then you can then go through and format it using the editor. So using that, okay, well that's that part. One area I didn't touch upon is the insert an image. The next thing is how to add an image. So you click on here to insert an image. Now usually you'd be uploading an image. So when you want to upload an image, you click on the upload button over here. Now before you do that, you put where you want to have it. So there's these different headings. So probably what I would do is just leave it just like it is, so doing all the pictures in one place. So I just simply click upload, I browse. Now the image I've got ready to go is one on the desktop. So I'm just looking for it now. It's about Porsche. There we are, Porsche. So go insert, and open. Now you see it's only 53 kilobytes. Now the thing is with any images you're going to use, try and keep them under 300 kilobytes because once they get bigger than that, it makes it slow to actually download the website, the post. So try and keep them small. Don't forget the images that are taken even by a camera, by a camera on a smartphone, produce um, images of several megabytes. So use one of the image editing programs. Some are free. Just Google to find appropriate ones, and compress the size down to 53, under 300 kilobytes. May have to trim it a little bit, but you're really looking at compressing it down to, that's the issue of that size, and not so much how many pixels, but the actual kilobyte size. Okay, so we found that. We click on that, and there's only one, so we upload that. And it's uploaded. Here we've got Porsche. We click on that, and then we go up to here, and we've got images Porsche, and it's got the name there. Now it's kept it at this thing. If we want to reduce it, we can. Because we've kept it as proportional, so if we want to reduce it down to say 200, we'll automatically do it for that. We want to align it left, and you'll see how that produces the wording goes to the round it to the right, and right, and left. So I'll keep it as left for the time being. Is that margin is we want to have some space, especially with the words. So I usually make it about 10. Okay, we'll keep that all the way around, so you can mark it by removing that. You can, that one is, and just have this part. See how the margin around there. If you want to have a border, it's automatically a border of 1 around it, but if you want to get rid of that border, you just put naught. Okay, so that's okay, so and then what you do is you hit insert, and you put it where you wanted to have that, and because we had it down here, that's what it means. You also edit it afterwards if you wanted to, and change the configuration. Okay, so we'll leave that there. That's basically how that's with the images. Now going down here is tags. Tags you use to keep track of items. It might be something interesting, so you might want to put, say, because we're dealing with food, there might be different soups across in different types of styles of food. So I'll put soup. Falls under the general heading of so that's soup. We'll just add another one of say just generally food. Okay, and might add something like supplies. So whatever basically is keywords that will help someone who's searching for information. They can say across different blogs, they can actually find it all in one place. So just add that. Okay, so now we scroll down further. Now we're saying this one's going to be a site-wide one. Now in this case, Jose also happens to be a member of the barbecue team. Now if we wanted it to only be for the barbecue team, we'd hit team, and that would limit it to only the members of that particular team. But here we said it'd be site-wide. If you're not a member of any team, you won't have any of the you won't have the option here of putting in your team. We'll keep it site wide for the moment. You can allow comments, allow subscriptions. We, in this case, allow on the front page. Okay, expiration date. You can change that because it's that's our determined order, so you can change that. The rest of down here is all deal. If you're looking at search engine optimization, we're not doing that. Okay, so that's it for the editing function. Now, just running across the items in the toolbar. That's just an overview of what's on your site. Visual tags and posts. What posts you've got? Okay, it's because I'm also logged in as myself, but as well as Joe Test, so that's why it's coming up there. Now drafts. We've got two drafts here. We've got the initial one I did down here, so we don't need that one anymore, so we can discard that. So select it, we want to discard that. Apply. Yes, proceed. Actually, you can see I've made an error here. You see how that comes out, even though we're filling in the form, it still comes out in a different format. So here we'll just continue editing, and make sure that comes out as a home. Now looking through, am I happy with that? Okay, in each case I'll publish now. Just under the arrangements we've organised is that registered users can publish, but it's still reviewed, but they can publish their posts. So that would be publish now. Let's down as the lists. There's comments. If we see what other people in the comments, categories. What categories we've got. There's no other categories that he's made up, but you can add categories if you think they actually are needed. But probably it's better to leave that and just save for some consistency. Tags, manage the tags, add a new tag, inclusion later. It's easy to add it to the actual blogs and posts themselves. And if you wanted a quick post, you can do one of those. That and just put in some brief details. Not have to go through that through the editor, and you've got that option if you're available. But most times you use the editor. Okay, and that's about it. So when we want to go back and have a look what we've produced, we either go hit blog or go home. Yeah. And we'll see where that one actually is. If we click on blog categories, and we scroll down until we come to international food, there's one post there. Click on international food, Now it looks as if when we published it, we left it as being to a team blog, so we don't have access to that. So what we have to do is we go back as we're still there. There's Joe, so we go back, we go to team blogs, and the barbecue team, cheers, open that one up, and scroll down. There it is, but we need to scroll down and edit. Now if you have to edit a post, you edit the entry. You can either unpublish it or just simply edit it. Just put your you can only set a pencil if you're the actual title to be to edit. That's usually just the author. So the edit the entry. So we scroll down. Now we can see we put it as a team. We can put it back to site wide. Then we click on update posts. And now if we go back to, you see the Russian food stall proposal. Okay, now if we want to read more, continue reading, that's where we'd see the picture. Yeah, so we see the whole one, including the picture. And the tags down there. And then we also have a listing back to the previous blog. Now if we wanted to add any comments, leave a comment, there's space there. You can just simply add a comment there. The log on is Joe, and you would simply type in the comment. Now if you wanted to subscribe to this particular to this entry, you could just simply click on that and submit, or it gives you some idea what can happen. If you wanted to subscribe to a particular category, so you click on categories, and you simply click on subscribe. Now for any posts or comments that come out of in that particular category, we will send an email with a short summary of the post or comment, so you're updated on that. So if we go down to here, if I international food, subscribe to this category, okay, here's the option of subscribing or do cancel here. Okay, that probably covers most of it. If you've got any questions about any of it, just send me an email via the contact list with the web convener. As you can see, the contact us contact list, and if everyone just there's myself, web convener, and all that pre-fill, and you just put the message there. Now if you have any files you need to have embedded or linked, so they need to be uploaded into the to the website, at this stage that's a little bit more complicated, and so the best idea would be to send those to me and just either by email or, as you see here, choose a file. That's what we need to do. Choose a file, upload it, send it to me. If it's a larger than that, than the 1.95 megabytes, then you can upload it to Dropbox and just contact me and we'll work out how to upload it. And I can then embed that, and in the usual way as to how that's done is if we go to the blog, we go to the second one here. Usually what we'll have is there's a link to the document, so it can be downloaded, but also you can view the document. They need to be you can have it as Word documents, but it's better to convert it first to PDF, and then it can be reviewed as simply as that. And that's just embedded into the website. Okay, that probably covers it all. As I said, if you've got any other queries on how it all happens, just let me know, and we can follow it through. So I hope that's clarifies some of it. Thanks a lot. Bye.